And we're back.
We are back.
Man, this chat is going crazy for everyone's favorite.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Fur. That's amazing. So, uh, yeah, I wished her early in the morning. So this is wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for stepping up and wishing her. She absolutely deserves it. I'm low key right now because I'm propped up through the wonder of modern drug called Dayquil. Last night I started feeling sick, and by this morning I am in no condition. I should not be on a YouTube live right now. I can tell you that. But I've not missed one so far, and I will not be missing any. So, uh, all right. So let's. How are you doing?
Much better than you.
Yeah, I still got my chai, and I got the handy dandy little silicone cover that Sunny recommended, so that's good. It keeps my chai.
But I'm doing well, Nick. It's been a good week. Got some good sun. It was like finally summer. The days are long. It's the time of the year that everyone craves. Productive wise, I had some really good meetings, architecting some pretty cool stuff that hopefully we'll be able to share with the community.
Yeah, I like what you're doing, man. It looks very, very interesting.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I kind of I wouldn't say that I've gone rogue, but I've kind of done my own thing. I am the ecosystem lead, and I've been looking at what Vitruvia's ecosystem could be for not only DGen's creators but for all users. And so I've been putting together a pretty cool plan and talking with some amazing people who have come across my desk over the years and helped me build a plan. And I've kind of started to share some of it with Nick, and he's like, I need a minute to process it.
Well, you write 30-page plans, man, and my mind is incapable of reading past.
Yeah, you don't read things. That's why I'm making it into a presentation so I can walk you through step 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, artists do that to me all the time. They'll send me a long 2 or 3 page DMs, and I'm like, if you can't say it in 3 sentences, you can't say it in 300. It's that simple. So I read 3 sentences, and that's it. After that, I stop reading.
Yeah, I learned that about you a while ago.
Yeah,
you're like, just show me, or yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
But absolutely. But I am excited to share it with everybody.
Yeah, look forward to that. I feel like I'm on YouTube streams every day. Oh wait,
You are.
I am on YouTube streams. So that's actually been a lot of fun, and we'll do another one tonight, provided I'm still alive and kicking. I believe I will be, but we just hopefully will be in better shape than I am in this instant. And so that'll be at 10 p.m. So everyone here, please attend that airdrop 10 p.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. UTC. So that's plus 1 day for UTC. But it's fun. We have a lot of fun, and yeah. So I think we can get going on this one. I had intended to do convey some topics in much more detail, but my mind is foggy right now. And what I will commit to doing to the community is we'll do another Discord live or a stream again, like Monday or Tuesday, and we'll cover these things in more depth. But yeah, so we'll get going. Lots of things to report on. So let's get going. Let me add my screen here. All right, so welcome everyone. This is the Vitruvio Download Season 3, Episode 12. Today is June 21st, 2024. I'm Nick Kalyani, founder and CEO. And in the download, we cover what happened in the prior week and the highlights. And then we also touch upon what is coming up and important things for the Vitruvio community and ecosystem to be aware of. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step you through 3 main areas. So the first one is progress on Vitru Suite, which is our flagship product suite for creators. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about Vortex, and then finally we go into tokens. So starting off with Vitru Suite, the new artworks continue to be consigned. We have put in a community moderation tool, so now things are a little slower because we want to make sure that people are not stealing other people's identity, other people's artworks, etc. And the trade-off is speed, but the payoff is quality, and so that's going quite well. We are very happy for that. So actually, today marks the completion of phase one of Vitu Suite. We had certain goals, and the goals were to launch and get Genesis artists onboarded, get everyone on board with one artwork at a fixed price, get search launched, be able to mint with collector credits, and have a fairly robust system. Also eliminate most of the high level bugs. So we're at the point now where I would say that less than 2% of the artists are having problems, but 2% is the norm for any given system. 2% of the problems, people are going to have problems. So we've reached sort of that quality level where, of course, we would like it to be zero, but in most production grade sort of scale up systems, there are going to be some people who have problems. And actually, most of the artists that are having problems are all sort of related to wallets. And those have compatibility issues. That's a crypto issue that's never going to go away. But for the most part, all the issues related to consignment, etc., have been fixed, and things are going really well. So we consider that sort of done, sealed, phase one done. I really want to thank all the artists who participated in this, because we know that participating in the beta means you're signing up for things not working, things breaking, having to do multiple things, etc. And we appreciate all your effort and for sticking with us. Remember, Vitruvio is a community project first and foremost. We are not a corporation there for profit. We are a community blockchain, and our goal is to benefit all creators and all crypto investors in the project. So by you participating, you're really helping out in the community. So we appreciate that. And I'd like to make a special call out to Birthday Girl for Caggiano, who has worked tirelessly, just absolutely focused, relentless in getting us to this stage. So I would be remiss if I did not recognize her efforts. And the second person whose efforts I want to recognize is Dr. Martin Raskowski, who has been stupendous. Just a rock, helping out artists in all the support, putting together organized bug reports, communicating and bridging between artists and the developers, etc. So Doc, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And everyone, if you see Doc in Discord, please do thank him. Much of our success is due to him. So now we go on to phase two, and that begins Monday. So what are the key features we are going to focus on? Well, we know now that there is a concerted effort by scammers, etc., to basically try and take advantage of the platform. So we'll be activating and moving up our creator KYC efforts much higher, and that's going to be a priority. And artists have been asking for this every single day, multiple times a day. We will remove the limitation of only one artwork per artist. Obviously, that was a Genesis thing, right? That's not something that is long term. So we'll go ahead and remove that, so artists can consign multiple artworks and also can set an arbitrary price. So the $150 price was arbitrary. It was fixed though, arbitrary but fixed for Genesis. And now we won't have that. So artists can set whatever price they wish for their artworks. And also, I'm very pleased to report that this will begin our journey into revenue sharing, because now that Genesis is done, we said no fees for a Genesis, but starting this new phase, we will be able to add fees, and the buyer pays those. By the way, it's very important to understand that on Vitruvio, the artist always gets paid exactly what they ask for. The upsell, all of that, etc. The fees are paid by the buyer. And so what we will do is we'll trigger a revenue sharing. And so it'll start off small, of course, but we'll start seeing that flow of revenue going through the different constituents. So we have boosters, we have validators, etc., getting rev share, and we're going to activate that now. So that's phase two, and we'll kick that off and get it going very, very rapidly. Now that I think people who who have not worked sort of on software products should start begin to get a feel for how things progress. One of the most important and difficult things is to get something going from scratch. So phase one represented that, right? Now it's incremental additions, changes. So those are quite rapid. We basically take a feature and say we're going to add that, boom, 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 add it, and it's done. It's live. We don't have to build the whole foundation and the whole stack from scratch. And that was extremely time consuming, but it's done now. And now we focus on polishing. We are certainly aware that the appearance of Vitu Suite, etc., is not competitive with other offerings in the market. We know that. We focus on function first. We want to make sure things are working. The money part needs to work correctly. The consignment part needs to work correctly. The minting needs to work correctly. And all of that is happening now. And we'll gradually focus on the user experience and make it better and better. It can only go better, right? We are and improve significantly. So really excited about it. I am in particular very excited about revenue sharing because this represents innovation in L1 blockchains that doesn't exist anywhere else. There is no blockchain out there that has attempted to go beyond mining fees, gas fees, in order to supplement the income for validators. So our position is that the gas fees are detrimental to growth of the network. As you've seen in Ethereum, like the gas fees go up and users suffer, right? We don't want that. So we want a steady state rather, for gas fees, but we still want to reward our validators. We want to make sure they make us income. And so what we've introduced is revenue sharing. So this is by far the most innovative thing because it's all on chain and doesn't exist on any other L1 where validators are rewarded not from gas fees, but from the ecosystem revenue sharing. So we're excited about that because it's a new feature. We're going to try it out. And the timing of it is perfect because we are about to enter the public markets with our coin. And this is when people start looking like, what is unique and different about it? Well, unique and different about it is that we've changed the model for Web3 NFTs, for Web3 art completely. We have created innovation, we have built trust, and we've also created a new model for how L1 protocols can not only be built, but can grow. So exciting things coming. All right, so let's go on to the next, but first, a much needed sip of chai. All right, let's continue. So I'm simultaneously drinking chai. I have a cough drop also because otherwise I cannot stop coughing and I cannot do this session. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit about Vitu Store. So you've seen pages of Vitu Store already in place because that's where you go and mint, but we haven't actually built out the Vitu Store offering. So we've put a plan in place to launch a multi-tenant Vitu Store by July 26th. So what we're talking about here is a Shopify-like experience. If you go to other blockchains, whether it's Ethereum, Tezos, Solana, etc., you're going to find a handful of marketplaces. They're all run by independent teams, etc. What we want to do is basically throw that model out the window because it doesn't work. It hasn't worked and it will never work. What we are doing is we are creating and emulating Shopify. Shopify allows anyone to go and with the click of a few buttons, create their own marketplace. That's what we are building. We want to have thousands of marketplaces that are based upon the asset registry because all the assets in Vitruvio are on the blockchain. They are not in a silo of one marketplace or another marketplace. And so we want to have hundreds of thousands of people create marketplaces. Why would they do that? Because for the simple reason that they can make money. This model works great with Amazon, where people set up affiliate websites that are targeting niche customers for certain domains. That's exactly what we want to have done and enable everyone to very easily come create their own store and specify the brand, specify the filter of the artwork. So every store is not going to have all the artworks that are in the asset registry. What they're going to do is have a subset. So that's what we call a top level filter. So for example, if there's an organization that wants its artists to be onboarded on Vitruvio, the top level filter would be the organization. So only that organization or that gallery's filters would be visible on that marketplace. and of course the price markup. They can put a price markup there, and the buyer pays for that, and it all is done on chain on through our licensing model, which is already in place. So, excuse me. So, I'd also very happy to report that we had our first, it's actually second, but our first in-depth meeting with our marketplace partner, and we have floated a proposal to them. This was just yesterday morning. So now, assuming the agreement is finalized, we will first onboard about 100 to 150 artists, and then as those are done, we'll add them in batches. So there's approximately 500 more coming for a total of around 600 with this partner. So that's just the start. If they're successful, they'll bring on other artists also. So our launch for Vitu Store on July 26th will pivot around this marketplace partner, but at the same time, we'll also make it available for others, so anyone can come in and start testing the beta version of Vitu Store. So all right, that is going on. Let me see if there's any questions relevant to this right now. Slumdog Millionaire says, "What phase is music and movies?" Look, we got to walk before we can run. So I want the full end-to-end for visual artworks to work properly before we add another variable in there, because both music and movies have their own unique audiences, their own unique challenges, pricing, other dimensions, etc. So if we start tackling those right now, what will happen is we'll lose focus on the thing we've started and are having success with right now. So it's very important for us to get this to a stable point, and then we can build upon that. All right. Cashflow King says, "Please take away the ability to copy the full-size original image on friend on our website. Make it available after license purchase only." I think that's excuse me, sorry. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to end up involuntarily coughing here. Yeah. So look, we can do all that. We can thwart people's ability to do that, and I think we should do that for the original. That's probably a good idea. We can't do it for the other things, but ultimately, I think it comes down to education. Also, people need to realize that right-click copy does not give you any rights. You can go and take to the Louvre and take a picture, a high-res picture of the Mona Lisa. It doesn't mean you own the Mona Lisa, right? So it's ownership rights, it's intellectual property rights, etc., that are important. We need to educate people more on that. But I do hear you on this. The original, at least, should not be available that easily, and so we'll implement that feature. So thank you for that suggestion. Dadbot Veteran says, "If there's a markup, wouldn't the buyer just go to search and buy to original price?" I think, yeah, it depends on what kind of shopper you're doing. I think for art in particular, people are not going around. It's not like a retail purchase, right? Where I don't know, you want to buy some luggage, and so you check out Target and you check out Walmart and you check out Amazon and you check out your local luggage store, etc., to find the best price. At the end of the day, we're talking about someone having a niche website. Maybe someone's got a website or a blog about surfing, and so they have all kinds of surfing artworks available there. They're unlikely to be shopping for that. They're just gonna see something that catches their eye and go for it at that point. So yes, it is highly possible that someone can do that, but it's also highly unlikely, I think. But let's also think about context, right? So if the context is someone's on the surfing website, they see the surfing related artwork, they would need to copy or remember, or I guess copy the name, etc. And then where would they go? They would go looking on our search pages, etc. And so one of the things we could do is we could also introduce a markup, right? So it could be that there is no place where you get it for a significantly lower, and then that changes the barriers of it. But that's a good point, and certainly these are all things that we have to think about as we encounter. And the good thing is that our model it can be refined as we learn more. So we haven't done this before. No one's done this before, actually, and we're going to figure out things as we go. Gus asks, "Will there be a subscription part to this?" Yeah. So I think what you're so there's two things. There is the ability to license artworks as NFTs and to own them, and then there's streaming art, right? So we have a project that we launched, but unfortunately, it was not very successful because we didn't do very good marketing with it. But now we are resurrecting that project. It was on Ethereum. We are resurrecting it on Vitruvio with proper marketing. It's called Art Packs, and that will be a subscription where you pay a fixed monthly fee and you will get dropped packs of art. You don't know what's in it, but they will be curated for you. So this is the NBA Top Shot model. Those of you who have used NBA Top Shot, there's a pack that's dropped. You open it and you find out, oh wow, what did I get? A rare, an ultimate, or so on and so forth. So yeah, so we will have that subscription. Will creator credits that are blocked be available for phase 2? I The creators that are blocked. Period. They are not going anywhere. And in fact, we are doubling down and essentially nuking their vaults and all of that kind of capability. So once we've identified a bad actor, there's just no coming back. I don't see any point in them coming back. Jason says, will curation affiliation be enabled in phase 2? So I view those two things as two different things. So curation is actually compiling artworks into sets, which is very important for streaming. And then affiliation is basically referring people to one of the marketplaces, in which case you're just forwarding a link, right? You're bringing audience. And so yeah, I think we will enable those, although they are not at the top of the list of priorities, but we do want to enable those. Nelson says, can you explain what you mean by marketplace partner? Is this a third-party marketplace that will bring artists onto Vitruvio? Exactly. Yeah, this is the third-party marketplace that already has artists, already is running a marketplace, and and they do it on the existing networks like Ethereum and Polygon, etc. And what we are doing is we are having them launch on Vitruvio using our model, which is significantly different. We don't have the minting and all of that kind of stuff. And they've agreed to come on board and be part of it. So in a nutshell, and I say agreed tentatively, we have to, everything still has to be signed off on. So I don't want to prematurely say agreed. But yeah, so they are marketplace, they'll come on, and we will have workshops to onboard their artists and show them how to consign things, because it's different from what they've done before. So in a sense, what they're bringing is really their brand and their artists. That's what they're bringing. We are bringing the tech to the table. Okay, so G-Giant actually says, yeah, so those are collector credits. That's why I got confused. They're not creator credits. Creator credits are for creators to consign the artwork. So yeah, any collectors who bought artworks from an artist that is blocked and their work was nuked will be redeemed. Their credits will be redeemed. We just have to go through and find out who they are and do that. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but you will be made whole on that. Excuse me. All right, let me continue here, chai, and get through the rest of my presentation without collapsing. All right. All right. So next one is Vitru Stream. So this is a really important product for us because it is sort of the new and different and innovative aspect of the Vitruvio Vitru Suite family. So we are now focused on getting an alpha version of it out ASAP. We already have some of the screens done and some of the basic things done. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick one or two of the following industries that we are eventually going to target. So that's home, office, real estate, healthcare, hospitality, and travel. So we're going to see where we can get some partners to help us move the needle, and we'll pick one or two of those and start going. Now, One of the things you're going to see in hopefully, I would say as early as next week, but might blend over into the week after, is a Vitru Stream go-to-market plan. That's a very important plan because, we can have the technology and all, but we need to have a solid go-to-market plan. So we're working on that. And this includes a beta program where we will give people a discounted $1.99 price to be able to try out. We don't want to give away the beta subscriptions, etc., for free, because then it's really hard to test, are people doing it because it's free? But the moment you put any amount of money on the table as a payment, things get real, right? So then you know that people are doing it because they want to and not just because it's free. So this is going to be an important. Now, I've shared the spreadsheet before, and I will share it again as part of the GTM plan. But we have tiers of subscriptions, like starting as little at $5 a month and going all the way to $50 a month, and then at the higher tiers, it might be as much as $10,000 a month. Yeah. So for the beta, we'll make it very simple and easy for people to try things out with a $1.99 per month price. So if you recollect, Steve Jobs famously, when they removed DRM, etc., and introduced iTunes, put all the music prices at 99 cents, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's insane, that's crazy." But over time, it helped grow market share, and for us also, I think it's going to be beneficial. There are a few streaming services already in the market, but if you go and spend some time on their websites, etc., you will see that they are primarily consists of niche artists. So these are sort of celebrity artists, and therefore the price point is significantly higher. So it'll be significantly different for us, where they can choose from a variety of artists and really global artists, and that's what makes our offering much more interesting, and we'll make it super competitive in terms of quality and technology, etc. We'll make sure that it's level, and we'll also have our app. We'll also target the same, Apple TV, Google Play, and Fire Stick, and a lot, all the offerings that are out there. We'll uniformly target all of them. All right, so that's the story on Vitru Suite. Let's move now to Vortex. All right, so what I want to do there is give you an insight into where we are right now. I'm very pleased to report that as of at least as of when I created this deck, we had 10,966 Vortex mints. So that's pretty amazing for a little over 2 weeks. And I'm very grateful and thankful for the community for stepping up and really supporting this project. We have a very big vision for it. And if it's not very clear to folks, it bears mentioning that Vitruvio Blockchain for Creators has essentially 3 pillars. The first pillar is what I talked about, which is visual artists and those kind of creators. The second pillar that we're talking about here is Vortex is for gaming creators, so game designers, game developers, gamers, game investors, etc. So that's in the realm of creators. And the third one is in the realm of degens, where you have PFP projects and things like that. So those are the 3 pillars that we've got. So let's talk about pillar number 2 here, which is Vortex. So we want to grow a Vortex significantly. That growth is going to happen when we are able to engage people outside of the Vitruvio current ecosystem, right? We want to grow the ecosystem. We want to bring in all these other folks. And for that, we need 2 things to happen. First, we need people to be aware and raise awareness of what Vitruvio offers, especially for creators outside the ecosystem. If they are not following me or not following Fur or not attending some of our spaces, etc., Vitruvio is an unknown item to a lot of creators, and we want to start engaging them. So what we've decided is we want to pick vectors that will help us grow. So the first vector we've chosen there is Warpcast. So Warpcast is based on the Farcaster decentralized social protocol, and it has significant growth, especially since they recently got a significantly large round of funding of $150 million. So they're going to continue to grow their ecosystem. So we have a strong presence on Warpcast with top 2 influencers. So that's our goal, is to really improve our presence there. And we are very fortunate to have the top 2 influencers there on our side. So goal number 1 is to increase Vitruvio engagement. All right. And so we're going to do that with the Poster.fun team. So I said last week that they were here in town in Mountain View, and I spent a lot of time meeting with them. We went through different variations and permutations of what these campaigns could look like. And what we've come up with is a multi-week meme campaign. That's what Poster.fun does. They do memes. I think they haven't even fully launched yet, and they've had 72K memes, 72,000 memes created to their platform, which is pretty impressive. So what we're going to do is, through our campaign year, funnel people in to our existing airdrop, so we can see the activity grow there and how more people engage with Vitruvio and learn more about it. And so that's the purpose. That's the mission for the Poster.fun team. And I'm going to appear on their live community live events and things like that. And we're going to just make it fun for approximately 5 to 6 weeks. We're going to try that out. The next thing is we want to actually grow the Vortex ecosystem, which is, it translates in plain English to, we need more mints, right? So in order to have that happen, we're working with a team, and we now have new branding developed. The website launch is imminent. And we also have contracts built out on Base protocol, which is a Coinbase blockchain. Why Base? Well, because everything that everyone does on Frame is pretty much all on Base. You can't go uphill. You can't fight what's already happening there. But over time, maybe we can get Vitruvio added there, because they have Base, they have Optimism, and a couple others. But Base is by far the most prominent and prolific blockchain for all blockchain activity on Warpcast. So we are building a Frames app. So Frames is the technology they use to build little embedded apps right within the social network protocol. And we'll allow people to mint Vortex directly using ETH and USDC. So we don't want it to be boring, just a mint button, because people on Warpcast expect engagement, expect interesting things. And this might interest folks who are here also in the Vortex community. So we're going to do some gamification of the minting process also, and give you some control over the output of your mint. So that's coming up soon. Other than that, there won't be much difference. Everything is the same. And what will happen is, if you do mint on Base, within about a minute, your NFT is bridged over to Vitruvio. So that's the user experience we are going for. And ultimately, our mission and the KPMs we are looking for is increase Vitruvio engagement and increase Vortex mints, thereby increasing and growing the Vortex ecosystem. So let's see if there's any questions on these. So Robert Wood asks an interesting point. Will you cut off Vortex NFT rev shares at any point, or will it linger on until it reaches 100K? So this is something that has already sort of hit my radar multiple times, and you will see later in the deck, I'll talk specifically about revenue sharing, and we'll cover this issue, and you will like it. Vijay says, is Vitruvio going to bring futurist art tools like Canva? Yeah, so excuse me, I'm very sorry about this. Poster.fun is kind of like Canva, but for decentralized, so Canva is a centralized tool, and you want a decentralized tool. So Poster.fun does that. All right. And I see in Shopify-like experience, would customers be able to make credit card purchases? All right. So it's always been, it's always been our vision to enable credit card purchases. In fact, one of the things we want with our stores and everything is to give people a feel of a very Web 2 experience. And we accidentally feel like we have stumbled into something that actually might work. So with the boosters, we issued the collector credits, and they work well as a neutral way to pay things. And so what we are saying is, what we are thinking of is having customers purchase collector credits using whatever method they want. So whether it's credit card, whether it's some other cryptocurrency, etc., and using those collector credits to purchase artwork. So you need a collector credit to buy an artwork, and the artists eventually get paid in Vitu. So that's a standard thing. So we wanted to make the front end super flexible. We wanted to make sure that we can get all kinds of capital to flow into our ecosystem. And so collector credit sales would using credit card is likely going to be the first experiment we do, because it's really easy. Now, it's easy, but it's also challenging, because when you look at companies like Stripe, etc., they disallow those kind of systems. They generally disallow anything crypto related. So, but there are credit card processors that do work with crypto companies, and so we'll get those going. And a lot of the crypto credit card solutions that are in place are directly for buying crypto. So you can buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, etc., and they are not for transacting with a credit card, where you can, for example, buy collector credits and all that. So there's a very subtle and important difference there, but we'll make it work. We'll figure out a partner that can work with us and get this going. But absolutely, we want to make credit cards a first class solution here, because the goal here is to capture the 84% of the artists and art market and art buyers and art collectors who are not yet in the ecosystem. That's how we're going to grow. If we're going to grow this to be, multiple $1 billion in sales, it's not going to happen from the small segment of crypto buyers and crypto investors that are there today. We have to grow that significantly, and that is credit cards. All right, let's see. Guys, I am not going to answer any tactical questions here, so please, this forum is for a strategic kind of community thing. So tactical questions are best asked and answered in Discord, but these are for overarching high-level questions. So please keep your questions to that. And if I'm skipping your questions, it's just because I focus more on strategic questions, and especially the questions that have not already been answered multiple times. All right, let's continue on our goals for June for Vortex. The first goal is launch land claim. I take full responsibility for this. This is on my plate, and it's been delayed a couple times because I hit some, after testing on testnet and thinking it was good, deploying to mainnet and finding that new problems surfaced, retrenched, and have been fixing some bugs, and I finally have gotten to the point where those bugs are resolved. So now, if I wasn't feeling unwell, I would have launched that today. But I'm not going to commit to a date, because I want to make sure that the next date I say it's actually live, and that's it. So this is imminent. We're going to activate the Creator Challenge. So we already worked out the logistics of it. The Creator Challenge is basically for creators to create the artwork for the Vortex NFTs. There's 24 artworks that need to be created and as a set, and the winner gets $5,000 in Vitu. So all the details for that are set, but because it's for his birthday and because I'm not feeling well, we thought let's not announce it today. We'll announce it on Monday. We'll do a session and announce this on Monday, and you'll have all the details for the Creator Challenge. We want to activate Vortex on Honcho for trading. And speaking of Honcho, I have allocated a dedicated developer for it who started to work on it, and it will be resurrected and working properly ASAP as soon as they can get it fixed. So we know that people want to trade Vortex, etc. So we want to get that going. We also want to announce the details of the very first activity, build, buy, battle. Those are the sort of the three things that three kinds of activities that you can have. So we'll pick one that's fun and engaging and get people going on there. Of course, that also means that we will have to announce the availability of one of the fixtures or assets, so that will be part of whichever activity we choose. And also, I'm very excited to report that right away we will start simple contract-only revenue sharing test with Vitu Stream Beta. So I announced the Vitu Stream beta there. When I say contract only, it means we are not going. We don't have the bandwidth to create a full stack application for some of these things. The contract only means you can see the activity on chain. You can go to the Explorer and look at it. You can also transact with it. We're just not going to be able to create a pretty UI for folks. But again, this is just the initial test. But we wanted to just let people know that we are very, very serious about Vortex revenue share, being a first-class citizen, of the whole Vortex ecosystem. We actually created this whole thing because it gives us the ability to have this revenue sharing vector, and so we'll start off with it right away. So next airdrop is tonight, 10 p.m. PST, which is 5 a.m. UTC plus 1 day. So please join me. I hope I'm well, you know what? I'll medicate and be there. It'll be fine. So, all right. Let's see. Let's go through the next one. I see people talking about support transactions. I'm not going to address any support, individual support tickets and all that here. As I said, we'll talk about strategic things. All right. So now I said earlier that we would talk about revenue sharing, and let's talk about that. So I've received several community proposals where basically are saying about unifying the booster, validator, and Vortex revenue sharing, because right now they're in silos, right? So we've got booster and validators on the sales side of things, the licensing side of things for NFTs, and then we have Vortex, which is for streaming revenue. So basically, what people are proposing in a nutshell is a consolidated single revenue sharing model, regardless of source. So definitely like to entertain that. And the other thing, which I think is something that will benefit lots of folks, is to cut off Vortex revenue sharing at 25K mints. I think we want to make sure that always the early supporters are rewarded. So I feel like this would be a good feature to add. So what I'm going to do is take all these inputs that I've received and come up with a single revenue sharing proposal. I'll post that up next week. Meet with the key stakeholders like the validator group, maybe some of the boosters, maybe some of the larger Vortex holders, gather their input, and won't make a decision until we get comprehensive community feedback on this, and then put this into place. So that's, I think that's an easy thing to do, and we want to make sure that look, everyone has an opinion, everyone has an idea. Some people will like something, some people will dislike some things, and my job is to listen to everybody and then come up with something that's fair. And in my experience, something that leaves everyone each person slightly unsatisfied is probably the best solution. So that means everyone had to give a little bit, So in this case, there's not much giving; it's mostly getting. But we'll come up with a fair proposal. Right. So that is coming up and imminent. And now let's talk about tokens. But first, a sip of chai. I see lots of questions about the roadmap update. I've already submitted the roadmap. It should be cleared. What you're going to see is a bunch of green checks because we accomplished a lot of things that are there. All right. Let's talk a little bit about tokens. So last week I highlighted for you, excuse me, 1 second. Last week I highlighted for you some of the issues we were having at WVitru, and I hinted that we might have to redeploy that. So, sorry, but that continues to be a problem. We have verified that is indeed a problem with decimal precision. It does prevent unwrap for some users, but there's an easy workaround for it. Put a little bit of Vitru into the contract and the problem goes away. Anyway, that is an inconvenience. That is not a long-term solution that we're comfortable with. So there's going to be a new wrap Vitru contract deployed next week. If you have funds in the current contract, not to worry at all. You can unwrap them anytime you want. There is no time limit. Your funds will remain available forever, but there will be a new wrap Vitru contract deployed next week. So that will address all those issues around the decimal precision, etc. and we will be in good shape. All right. Now let's address the DEX sex issue. As I have always maintained that for us it's very important to have traction, because otherwise it's pointless to list our coin somewhere, because it's not going to fare well. But now we have many new creators entering the ecosystem, and their income holdings are not liquid, and so we have more folks now who would like for the Vitru to be liquid. And so for me personally, I'll just state that I took over sort of this whole ecosystem with a proposal on July 23rd last year. And for me, July 23rd of this is the absolute maximum cutoff date. Before then, long before then, actually, we'll make sure that that's the last checkbox I'm kind of looking for, is to get Vitru to be liquid. And so been working very hard on getting that to that milestone. But it's not as easy as it sounds. It's not just filling out a form and boom, it's done. You have to think about the cost of the listing. You have to think about the market making. You have to think about liquidity and all those kinds of things. So I'm sure everyone who is sort of giving suggestions is well-meaning, but to actually have to do it is a whole different thing. Anyway, so we've initiated the project, first of all, to upgrade our DEX. It is based on PancakeSwap 2, and we want to get it to 4. So we are working on that. We are awaiting the final response from the SECs that we've been talking to. So that's a tier 1. And believe me, they have asked for a lot of information. We've provided to them. We've provided all the different tokenomics models, all the projections, all the allocations, all of that. We've given them all of that. And we are just waiting for a decision. But we do know that the decision comes with a price tag, right? And that price tag could be anything from $200,000 to $500,000 in terms of listing fees. So we are basically at this point telling the SECs to give us a final answer as quickly as possible, certainly within the next couple of days. And what we are doing is, in the next 3 to 4 days, we'll make a final decision on the DEX versus SEX activation. I've hinted previously, and I've gotten good community response, that maybe we activate first on our DEX. And actually, all the advisors we've talked to favor that also. And so that will allow us to put the listing capital that we would have used directly into liquidity. So that's the significant advantage of it. But so within the next 3 to 4 days, we're going to make the final decision, announce a date, and launch the launch date. And then if we do this on the DEX initially, then what we would do is we would do follow-on listings on 2 to 3 exchanges immediately afterward, based on the performance. So this is what we are looking at. I'll do a Discord live next week with the full details. So we are the decision on this is imminent. And finally, everyone's who's been asking when will have an answer. So yeah, the tier 1 listings are very, very pricey. But yeah, so we'll have a resolution on this next week and move on. But I still feel like there's one more notch, one more level of traction we could go to make it really attractive. But I know people's patience has run thin, so we'll go ahead and do this. All right. Okay. So I have managed to survive this without having a coughing fit and without passing out. So I'm very proud of myself there. This is the download for the poet for today's download. Please do go get it, because we will be awarding prizes again for all those who claim a poet for all the downloads in a row. All right, so let's Zach, you can come back on and we can answer a few more questions. But I must confess, I'm at my sort of limit right now, and I do need to sort of.
I mean, Nick, you did kind of go through them as we went. I mean, the only real questions I'm seeing right now are all about.
Yeah, there's a bunch of SEX and DEX questions. I'll answer them at the live. I need to have better answers for everybody. I don't want to speculate. I want to make sure that when we come out, we give you all the good answers.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is 200 to 500K for tier 1 SEX listing. That's with like the market making and marketing which would be them posting on their X accounts and stuff like that. So it can be very costly and may not even be worth it in the end.
Yeah, and we already have. Is it Dex Tools, Zach? We are waiting for them to enable us, but they take much longer on chains versus tokens. So we call them, we contact them every other day and ask them when, and they say soon. So it will be available on Dex Tools, and so you'll have all the charts and all of that kind of stuff, etc. Okay, folks. Let's see here. Robert says, can you fix the scope? Yes, Robert. Actually, I spent quite a bit of time on that yesterday. And one challenge I have is I don't have any blocked artworks in my stash. So I would love it if people could post here, maybe even in the comments of if your scope is not working for the Vitu NFTs, please post your address so I can simulate looking at it. I need some test cases and unable to find it. Lookup says Firestick demo. So Nelio is working on another project for his company that's consumed all of his time. And I spoke to him yesterday, and he's like enthusiastic about coming back. So whenever he's available, we will do that Firestick demo. All right. Our goal is to make everything thrive, be everything successful, and I think we have slowly and methodically achieved a lot of those goals. When you see the roadmap update, you will see the number of green checks we have there. The things we set out in May, all but one task were done. And in June also, we are on track to get a lot of it done. So I'm very excited and actually proud. With very few resources, we've achieved quite a bit. So Legendary Bastard says, maybe you can have one last round of coming up with money if you get accepted for sex. I'm sure many would love it. Look, I think there is significant fatigue in our community, and I don't want to do that. It would be easy, but let's not do that. I think what we're going to do is reach out and get capital from outside the ecosystem, because we have to have this grow. If it doesn't grow, then it's not going to succeed long term. So while I think that's a good idea, I am not going to entertain it, because there's a bit of fatigue, and definitely don't want to get more capital from here. But then again, people who are investors, they can make their rational decisions around that. So as we read, if you are an investor and are interested in participating in the last round, and I'm honestly going through our list of investors right now and proposing some really good terms to them, reach out to me and we can talk. But we're not going to do any pitch for to our existing investors. So if you would like it, please reach out. I'm happy to discuss. So any plans to increase the small team? It all comes down to capital, right? So the listing is critical in that regard, in that we can get the coin listed, it does well, and then we have treasury coins to be able to pay people and then be able to grow very fast. Until then, we are cost constrained, and we are focusing all our capital on development. That's it. Engineering is it. And otherwise, we are saving up for liquidity and for listing. So that's why I haven't had many capital updates, because it's not been any spending. And guys like Zach, etc., are just working on the team without being paid. And I have not taken a salary since July 23rd last year. So we are all volunteering basically to bring this to success. And so we believe in it, and we are going to work hard and make it successful. So all right, so I think that's it. We are on an hour here, and we are good. I do need to get some rest. So thank you guys. I'll see you all tonight. But thank you so much for attending this download. Appreciate it.
See you guys.